Before the millions, the absolute madness, and the massive casino streams that completely broke the internet, Togi was just Shane. He was an ordinary college student, grinding away at Arizona State University, trapped in the exact same loop as everyone else. Picture this, sitting in a crowded, stuffy lecture hall, staring blankly at a chalkboard, and wondering how on earth a standard 9-to-5 desk job was supposed to fulfill your life. At night, the reality was even bleaker. He'd sit at a messy dorm desk, illuminated only by the harsh glare of a laptop screen, staring down a bank account that literally read $12.43. He was living off cheap ramen, opening a completely empty mini-fridge and scraping the bottom of a near-empty tub of the cheapest protein powder he could buy. Walking across campus in the pouring rain with a heavy old backpack, Shane felt completely trapped by the system. He wanted out of the rat race before it even started, and he began staring at crypto charts on his phone, looking for any exit ticket he could find. And then, the madness began. Armed with nothing but an internet connection and zero fear of risk, Shane caught a massive, volatile crypto wave. Green candlestick charts started reflecting in his eyes as his portfolio balance rapidly climbed. Suddenly, he leaped out of his desk chair, punching the air in pure disbelief as his screen flashed a staggering profit of $900,000. To an 18-year-old kid, he wasn't just rich. He felt entirely invincible. He immediately threw himself into the ultimate, unhinged influencer lifestyle. He was popping expensive bottles of champagne on a sunny yacht deck in Italy and walking into luxury dealerships, arrogantly pointing at brand-new sports cars. He thought he had completely beaten the system. But the system always strikes back. Just 6 months later, the image violently cracked. Shane learned a brutal lesson. The IRS does not care about your lifestyle. An oversized, intimidating tax collector handed him a massive penalty bill stamped in red ink. He had spent his money blindly, and just like that, he was completely broke again. Forced back to square one, Shane sat in his empty room, staring at his hands, completely broke, but refusing to stay down. He pivoted to the one thing he could completely control, his body. He tied his sneakers tightly in a gritty, dimly lit garage gym and went to work. He started screaming in absolute focus, lifting massive, bending barbells during heavy squat sessions. He decided to get famous at any cost, and he became entirely transparent about using performance-enhancing gear, pairing his raw, unfiltered frat boy comedy with an unreal, hyper-shredded physique. The internet absolutely swallowed it up. He filmed himself with a smartphone, flashing a wild, high-energy grin that went instantly viral on TikTok and YouTube. He built an incredibly loyal, massive fan base, and a floating digital counter started spinning wildly past 1 million subscribers. Togi was officially a star, but his appetite for extreme risk was only growing. That unquenchable thirst for adrenaline naturally dragged him out of the gym and right onto the digital casino floor. He started sitting in dark rooms, his face illuminated solely by the toxic green glow of a streaming monitor. Suddenly, the neon green logos of Kick and Stake crashed onto the screen like lightning. Togi was backed by massive streaming deals, frantically clicking a mouse, his pupils dilated with pure dopamine as virtual slots and plinko balls spun out of control. A waterfall of live streaming chat messages moved so fast it became a blur. Millions of viewers tuned in to watch a human roller coaster. A massive pile of digital cash started stacking up around his streaming chair, burying him in wealth. He would jump up on his desk, ripping his shirt in pure hype during massive, unbelievable wins. He wasn't just gambling for the money anymore. He was fully addicted to the raw electrical surge of placing his entire life on the line in front of a live crowd. What followed was one of the most statistically absurd runs in content creation history. Togi caught a legendary heater, climbing up a massive pyramid constructed purely out of green dollar bills. A giant glowing neon sign floated above him reading $10 million balance. He was living out a digital fever dream, renting high-roller penthouse suites and buying a fleet of luxury cars. But in the world of degeneracy, the house always gets its cut. A sudden dark digital storm cloud rolled in, blowing fierce winds across his money pyramid. In a flash, the dollar bills turned into black ash and blew away, leaving absolutely nothing beneath his feet. Togi fell backwards through a pitch-black digital void, reaching out for the disappearing cash. Just like that, he was sitting in a lavish, totally empty penthouse suite, staring vacantly at a laptop screen that read $0. Desperate to win it back, Togi walked out of the digital void and straight into the smoky, bright television lights of Hustler Casino Live. He sat slouched heavily in a casino chair, wearing a hoodie pulled low, surrounded by seasoned, professional poker players. His strategy was pure chaos, fearless, volatile, and terrifying to watch. He would blindly push a massive, unstable tower of physical clay chips right into the center of the table. Sweat poured down his face as he watched the card dealer slow peel the final river card. The pressure cooker started to burst. A cartoon clock in the corner of the screen spun wildly in reverse, marking a grueling, exhausting 15-hour gambling bender. But the cards didn't care about his story. The dealer raked the massive pile of chips away, leaving Togi's side of the table completely empty and crushing his remaining net worth. The true extent of the damage was finally exposed to the world when Togi walked into the bright, stark studio of the financial audit show. Host Caleb Hammer stood there, pointing aggressively at a whiteboard, his face completely red with frustration and anger. Close up on the marker as it wrote the hard, terrifying numbers. Net worth, negative $10 million. Between catastrophic gambling losses, unchecked spending, and lingering tax liabilities, Togi was deep in a financial hole. Yet sitting across the desk, Togi just casually shrugged his shoulders with a reckless, unbothered smirk. Stacks of eviction notices, tax liens, and debt alerts started raining down over him like confetti. He was legally a multi-millionaire on paper, but practically a beggar in reality, sitting on a park bench under a street lamp, wondering how it all went so wrong. Togi was falling deep into a rocky, dark pit of total financial ruin. But just when the internet declared his career dead, his legendary, unbreakable plot armor kicked in. Out of nowhere, a giant, laughing cartoon, Pepe the Frog, flew down from the clouds like a superhero, grabbed Togi by the collar, and rocketed him straight back out of the dark hole. A massive explosion of green crypto liquidity filled his bank account as his last-minute meme coin investments skyrocketed, miraculously erasing the debt. Staring at a flashing emergency room heart monitor, Togi realized his intense lifestyle and severe gambling addiction were actively killing him. He stepped away from the screens, showing the 18-year-old broke student Shane on the left and the battle-hardened multimillionaire Togi on the right. Togi's journey isn't just a story about getting rich. It's a wild, modern cautionary tale of riding the absolute highest highs and surviving the lowest lows. He broke the system, lost it all, and lived to tell the tale. The only question left is, what will he gamble on next?